Welcome guys to our Monday night Team Aloha call. Few announcements of what's going on in the Team Beachbody community is
I'll take that, man.
We say British five, right?
And sorry.
It's okay. It's off. It's off.
no, it's not. It's not off.
Oh, it's not off.
Is it? Yeah. Like
It was off. It was off, and I turned and clicked it again.
I was like, what? I didn't hear what happened. Did somebody fart?
No, Luke was just talking like nonstop. There now he's.
Oh, hi, Luke. I thought you were talking about one of the kids just because you were laughing so hard. They're like, Luke, and I'm like, wait.
I was laughing so hard because he didn't realize that I was on the laptop, and he was like, "Oh my god!" What do you?
Okay, well, so what's going on in the Beachbody community in general, at large? The Team Beachbody Cup is for the month of February. It starts on the first day of February, and it ends on the last day of February. And what it basically is a chance to win prizes for doing the activities that you already do in your business anyway. So it's not necessarily anything extra other than the things that you're already doing, but it does give you the opportunity to work together on a team with 4 other coaches. They don't have to all be on Team Aloha. They can be from other teams. They can be from anywhere. And just basically you all work together. Like right now we have a group thread going with our team, and we're just going to, chat about what's going on and just encourage each other and share ideas. And it's just, it's a chance for you to win. I can share my screen and show you. You get one point for every, I forget what it is. You get 1 cut point for every Success Club point. You get 3 points for every rank advancement from you or one of your PS coaches. And then if you get 30 points and you hit Success Club 5 or 10 next month, then you get a Shakeology tumbler. If you get 50 points as a team and you hit Success Club 5 with 7 Success Club points or Success Club 10, then you get a 22 hardcore women's apparel. If you hit 75 points as a team, remember there's 5 of you, then and hit Success Club 10 personally, then you will earn the coach throw blanket. There also are grand prizes for winning, being in the top 10 teams. And it's just a way for us to, it's a challenge, and it's a way for you to, advance your business, but do something fun and win prizes. It's nothing addition to what you're already doing. I know Arlene Price is still looking for a team. So if anybody wants to be forming a team, I know there's one coach that really wants to be on a team, right? As of right now, doesn't have a team. Let's see. That's pretty much announcements. What's going on still for the challenge pack sales, I'm sure everybody knows, is the 21 day fix, 21 day extreme, and then the hammer and chisel. Am I missing anything as far as like what's going on in the announcements? I haven't listened to the team call, the national wake up call this week, so I don't know if there's something else going on. But as far as our team, we have the new 7-day coach training that we launched today. And so far, I feel like it's probably been one of the most engaged groups, coach training groups we've ever had. As far as leadership, I did want to mention leaders that are leading teams that are not Aloha. I've had, probably 5 to 10 requests today from coaches trying to get into Aloha, asking to join, and they're not personally sponsored coaches. So I know that they're trying to join because they're trying to access the documents that I talked about. So I highly recommend, if you're leading a team and you have your own team group, to just create a Google file, a Google Doc. Not a Google Doc. Create a file within your team. Go to the files and create a document and just copy that Google Drive link to all the folders and paste it into a document in your team. So I'll share my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I already had mine done.
Yeah, Stephanie, I know Stephanie has hers because I remember she was like stressing.
I did it back in September.
So here we go. I have people who's requesting Amber and Marianne. Marianne I know is from Denny's downline, and then Amber is from Starlene's downline. She's requesting to get in. So if the two of you are on the call, you can create. All you do is just create doc within the group, and then you can go to Team Aloha files on Dropbox and Google Drive, and you can literally just you can just copy this. Control C and then paste it into the doc into your team group so that people can access those, because I talk about it in the video and then people are trying to get into the team to be able to access it. So that being said, I don't have a topic planned for this. So I'd love for this to be a time that we can, first of all, I'd love to hear what the thoughts are so far. I mean, I know we're on day one, but we did do the new coach welcome letter and checklist, which is I'm hearing is taking longer than I thought that it would take. But for people that are really thoroughly going through it, but people are actually motivated to go through it, and they're saying that they like that it's all in one place. So I feel like more people are getting through that than we're getting through the welcome letter, and then like emailing and doing the 7-day quick start, and everything was all separate, and then not knowing where to go after that. So far, I think it's good. I know that the video that I made was a little long from today, and I plan on redoing it because I felt like I was a little, I wish I would have in the beginning just said like, okay, this is what I'm going to be going over in the video. I said that in the post, but I didn't say it in the video. So, and in addition to that, Stephanie, originally our plan was to have Stephanie in that video with me, but Stephanie came down with strep throat. So she was supposed to go for surgery. Well, I don't know if she wants me to say that, but anyway, she is sick. So she couldn't make that video with me. So that's why it was just all me, and we were going to do it together yesterday and it didn't happen. So I ended up doing it last night, and multiple takes, and I spent hours trying to create it. So we'll probably redo that. But anyway, what are the thoughts so far? What's the consensus? I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys have to share. And then after that, we can just talk about questions. I can answer questions, and we can do like a kind of an open forum and just do that for this call, since I don't really have anything planned.
Well, I'll talk first. I loved it. And I usually get like halfway through Coach Basics and then stop doing it. But I love the check form, check it off when you're completed. I liked your video. I thought it was great.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm always nervous to do longer videos because it's like we were doing those short videos in Coach Basics, like 5 minutes long, but I feel like it's almost better to just do like a long video and have it all in there,
For 7 days. You can keep somebody's attention for 7 days, but it's one video a day for 2 weeks. I don't know. People kind of peter out after a while. I know I do. I have ADHD, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. This is a test. It's the first one, but we'll know after this.
I found that in the video you covered a lot of the questions that most new coaches have, at least for me, that I remember having.
As a new coach, like people don't know what to expect in the beginning, and having some kind of a structure or format really helps a new coach.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that somebody that wants to do this, like somebody that is ready and wants to put in the time, is going to be willing to finish that welcome letter. I was hesitant because one feedback I got was that it was too long and that I should break it up into 2 parts, but I didn't want to do that. The reason I didn't want to do that is because then that's like making them go to different places, and then it creates another step for the sponsor. The mentor is like, you've got to send them one letter and then they send it back, and then you've got to send them another and then they send it back. And it's just, to me, it felt like it was, people were slipping through the cracks at that point, and it was more work than the mentor really needs to do. It's all in one place. Bookmark that and go back whenever you need to. And of course, you're not going to get it all on the first time, but you can bookmark. And that's why we added at the bottom, like, bookmark this letter so you can refer back to it. Then the beauty of it is, if you're in the mentor and you're training your team, when they come to you and they're like, how do I use the Coach mobile app again? You're like, you send them the link to the welcome letter. You don't have to go and explain to them how to use the Coach mobile app. You just refer them back to the welcome letter because it's in there, and they obviously already had that. So then it's just one little step. It's all there, just a quick copy and paste. Here's the letter, go back and review it. Or if they're like, how do I get a hold of Coach Relations? It's all in there.
How do we make that letter our own, though?
You have to, I posted that in Team Aloha. I posted how to make it your own. You have to save it to your Google Drive, and then you can edit it. You have to save it first. It's go under file and save or something. I forget, or just redo it. Just copy everything, paste it.
Yeah, I really liked it. It finally put everything together for me.
Yeah.
So I went, because I've been struggling with it because it was separated, and then it just was so much more a breeze. But I'm in a different place with it as well.
Yeah.
But I liked your video as well. I thought it was right on, and I didn't really understand Success Club to the extent that I do now. So
okay.
It made it very cohesive, and it all just came together. And I don't know if it was the timing, but I do think it was the formulation and the collaboration that you've put together with Stephanie and getting this really going. So I'm in.
Yay. I feel like in my gut, I feel in my heart and my gut that this is it. This is the key to unlocking, if somebody wants to build a business, this is the system that you can put them through and have them be system dependent. And then when I say system dependent, if you're mentoring your coaches and your team to be system dependent, then in the times that you're spending with them building the relationship, it doesn't have to be so much time doesn't have to be spent trying to explain Success Club and trying to explain, Emerald. And, that's a lot of times in the first getting started call, it's like you're trying to find their why, you're trying to find their brand, you're trying to explain Success Club, you're trying to do hit their goals, you're talking about so many things. And then you're like, okay, now here's the business activity tracker. Now start writing names on it. And people are like, whoa, So what this does is the 7-day training, you're doing this before you do the getting started call. So that when you do the getting started call, well, first of all, after the training, the following week, they're going to get a live groups getting started call with myself. If they're, doing the Coach Basics with me, eventually you'll want to, once you have a team, break off and lead your own. And, if you want to create new videos and your own content, you can do that, or you can use the ones. I think that it would be, if you're a leader and you want to be leading your team, it would be cool to use some of the videos, but probably the beginning video, the first day video would be good to redo for you. So you can talk about, we were part of this larger team called Team Aloha, but I'm leading now, and, and you can kind of break it down for them, because that's good for them to see you, especially in that intro video. Or if you're interested and you want us to do your video together, if you're leading a team and you want to do the first video together, that was Stephanie's and my original plan, was to do a Zoom and we would go over those things together. So if you want I believe that at this point, what the biggest thing that I have to offer somebody I have a lot to offer someone, but in the beginning, when someone is going and joining a team that's a smaller team, a subdivision of Aloha, right? They don't necessarily, if you aren't at that level yet of success, they don't necessarily see it yet. They don't necessarily see that they can get to that level. So what I think is the most powerful thing that I have to share with your team is my story, is the fact that, I resigned from my nurse anesthetist job and I do this full time. And so it shows people that that's possible. It shows people that it's not just, it's not just some stranger that they see up on a summit stage, but this is a person that, personally and that you're working with, and that they're being a part of that team. So that being said, if you wanted to redo that video and you wanted me to come in and do a short intro with you and kind of go back and forth and shoot that video together, I'm happy to do that, because I think that would be beneficial for them, for you and them to be able to see that. Other than that, you can, do with the training however you want once you start growing your team. Well, Stephanie's on.
I'm alive.
She's been on antibiotics for 24 hours.
On some heavy dose pain medications, I can finally talk. I haven't really, I've been honestly sleeping for 4 days, so I haven't seen a lot of the training, but I do like the fact that I noticed it was share your post from today. That's my favorite part. I've been doing that in my own team page where it's every day we do activity of the day, and I ask people to share specific types of posts, maybe your best engaging post or a post that was non-fitness related that did really well. But I like sharing posts so that other coaches can see what other people are doing and maybe feed off of it, get ideas from one another. So I like that is there.
Well, that idea came from you. That's why I put that in there. Because you told me. That's
why I'm highlighting that I love it.
He's like, by the way, I love my idea, everybody. I just want you all to know that. I love my idea.
The first thing that I do say is going to be a pat on my own back. So. And I'm going to.
Well, I like your idea too. That's why I used it.
I actually haven't gone through the new coach letter yet. I have to do that myself. I just haven't had the energy yet. So I'm hoping to do that tomorrow.
So then the flow would be, once the 7 days is completed, and then if they finish the 7 days, then whoever finishes the 7 days is invited to the group getting started call. But that shouldn't replace, if you're leading your team and you're plugging your team into this, it shouldn't replace your getting started call with your coaches, because they still will get a chance to plug into you, and you'll still be able to do that one-on-one. And in that getting started call with your coaches, what my focus would be if I were you, if you were plugging into this training, is I would spend that time really digging into their why and really digging into getting to know who they are and getting to know why they want to be successful, what are their needs, getting to know their personality type, what kind of encouragement do they need? Do they need, some coaches have them do love languages, the love languages, and tell them which love language they are. Do they like to receive gifts? Do they like to receive words of encouragement, so that you can see what kind of ways to encourage them? But the majority of that time, that getting started call with me, when I was doing them one-on-one, which I only enrolled, this month I've enrolled one new coach, and everybody else has been customers at this point, because I've been focusing on this training, and I haven't really been focusing on enrolling coaches at this point. I've just been trying to get the system down. I spent the majority of that time getting to know them and getting to know their why and talking about their vision and having them create their vision board. So that's what I would do if I were you. So what I was saying is, since they're going to be system dependent and they're going to be plugged into this, and they're going to be getting all of the information within the system, when you're having a conversation with your coaches, it can be a lot more fun and a lot looser. It doesn't have to be all business. It doesn't have to be Success Club and this and that. It can be more, developing that relationship and actually, being friends and getting to know that person. So it's not that you're making them system dependent because you want to get rid of them and not be a part of their life. You're helping them to be system dependent, so that the time that you spend with them, it can be more, focused when it's Beachbody talk. It's not like you're going all over the place talking about a bunch of different things, because that's all there for them. It can be just focused on whatever they're struggling with, and it can be a chance for you to just really connect with them. And then the next step after that would be for them to do Coach Basics Now at this point, Stephanie and I discussed, doing another Coach Basics and actually running it and doing it, creating a group and having, calls and whatever. But we talked about the format of it would be a little bit different, where it would be, we wouldn't do a daily post. We would still keep the self-paced Coach Basics, and they would go in there and they would do whatever post they did. They would go and do, their thing on their own. And then we would post in the Coach Basics group, in like the group that we created, just to have them share what they did for the day, instead of us, creating another group and posting every day the Coach Basics post. It would be more of a chance for people to share what they're doing and share posts that are working, like what Stephanie said. So that's, it's a question. That's a question mark. We don't know at this point what we're doing. Right now, our focus is on this group. And this group is going to continue for, I think we said a 6-week group at this point. So it's going to continue for 5 more weeks after the 7-day for anyone that wants to stay in it. What content will we be posting? We don't know. He's staying open. I'd love to hear from some newer coaches.
Hey, it's Kristen.
Hey.
It's funny that you posted that with having it go step by step. I thought that was really cool, because I was just having the conversation with Stephanie and telling her, because I kept having all these questions, and then it's like I feel kind of like an a-hole, because it's like I just kept bombarding her with all these random questions, and I knew that it was, I knew it was in the site, and I knew where I could find stuff, but it just didn't make sense. So I felt, even though I was filling out the form and kind of going step by step, it might have been a little bit time consuming for me, and then I was really busy, so I had to keep going back to it. But it made more sense, if that makes sense. I don't know, it was easy to follow. So that was helpful for me. So I feel more comfortable with everything now. But
Yeah, I think that's the overall consensus, is that people liked having it all in one place and being able to refer back to it. So I'm glad you all found that helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank Charisse, because Charisse is the one that is the forms queen, and she's the one that inspired me to get it all into a form. And she had done that a long time ago, and I was resisting it for whatever reason. I don't know, but now I'm like, Charisse, we should make this form. We should make this form. She's like,
it's nice, and then you create the documents. So because it's like I didn't know where to find half the stuff, and then Stephanie's like, oh, it's already posted, so just go here. And then I was like, what the hell? I didn't even know all that was there. And so then I was able to kind of go through everything, even like prompting when you have a new challenger and what to ask them and probe and just keep them engaged. So it's like I always have that pulled up, so I don't kind of stumble over stuff. So yeah, it was super helpful. I like the documents and stuff.
You mean the Google Drive? The Google
Drive?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I downloaded a lot of that stuff, because I didn't even know until she's like, oh, well, I posted everything to our team page. And I was like, oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
So, but it's helpful.
Anybody else have any questions or any shares?
I think the cool thing too, Marissa, is like if they start using this on their own, they start having their own teams, is that each of you guys will have your own record of, the responses that you get from your coaches all in one place. Sometimes I'll send the welcome letter. I don't know if they even read it, or something. But if you have a checklist, people are doing it, you have a record, it's all going to go in one place. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, if nobody else has anything, I'm gonna share an idea that Cassie and I were talking about. We have both, and I didn't know that she was already reading it. But The Miracle Morning is a book that's been going through the Beachbody community pretty quickly. I mean, it's been spreading like wildflower amongst the top leaders in the business, and it's called The Miracle Morning, and there's one that's just a regular one, and then there's one for network marketing. And I for whatever reason bought the regular one. I don't know why I didn't buy the one for network marketing, but I started reading it. I'm almost done. I started reading it, I think, on Sunday. No, I started reading it on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, but I've had it for like 3 or 4 days. So it's a pretty quick read. I mean, it's not like really in depth and intense. And it just talks about pretty much is what it is taking care of yourself first thing in the morning. And, you know, if you have to, waking up earlier to be able to do that. Oh, there's Shreese. Shreese has the book. That's the book. And who's the author? Elrod or something like that. Oh, she has both of them. She has 2.
Is it, what's his name? Hal something?
Elrod is his last name?
Elrod. No, I have the journal and the thing. And the
I want to get the journal.
journal and book.
So you can actually go to the website. I think it's like tmm something.com. I don't know. Anyway, look up The Miracle Morning, and you can go to the website, and I think you can read like first 2 chapters for free. Anyway, there's supposed to be a bunch of resources in that site, but I haven't accessed the site. I just bought the book. I started reading it, and this morning was supposed to be my first morning of implementing it. You're supposed to get up like an hour earlier, and then it has a ritual. It's very ritualistic, but you can base it on your own time, how much time you have, and basing it on what you want to accomplish within that time. So he has like, you do 5 minutes of silence. Like he does these little categories. So he does like 5 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of affirmations, 5 minutes of visualization, 5 minutes of personal, like reading, 5 minutes of, writing, and then 5 minutes of exercise, which I think equals an hour. Hopefully that equals an hour. But he does have a 6-minute one. So you can just do 1 minute. Like if you're strapped for time or whatever, you can start with, if like an hour in the morning seems like, oh my God, there's no way I could do that. He has a 6-minute one where you just do a minute of each. And his point is in the book, basically, that if you set yourself up and take care of yourself first thing in the morning and do all of these things that are positive for you, then your day is going to be a lot more positive, and it's just going to be a lot more, you're going to get a lot more accomplished. But even beyond that, he talks about his mindset before he goes to bed is to think that he's going to sleep really well and just, do affirmations. I'm going to sleep really well and I'm going to wake up with energy in the morning. And he originally started this because he was like depressed, and he had, I think he was broke, and he had lost all of his money. He had been in a car accident years before, and he had like suffered a brain injury, and then he, recovered from that, and he was a speaker and all these different things, and he was doing a lot of really good things. And then I think he made a lot of money, and then he had a bad investment. Something happened. He lost his money, and then he kind of hit rock bottom again.
I think the economy crashed or something. And
the economy crashed.
Yeah, and he lost his coaching business.
That's what it was. The economy crashed, and he was like, that he felt worse when the economy crashed and he was broke than when he had suffered a brain injury years before. And so he was just totally depressed, and he's just like, okay, decided one day I'm just going to turn this around, and I'm going to start, I'm going to start doing this Miracle Morning. So what he did was he used to get up at 6 or something. He set his alarm for 5, and he tested this on himself. He tested like, all right, going to bed at 10 o'clock and saying, I'm going to, oh my God, I have like no time to sleep. I have to be up at 6 a.m. and, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. Or he tested his mindset before he went to bed saying like, I have so much time to sleep. I'm going to rest so well. I'm going to wake up in the morning. I'm going to be totally energized. And he would tested it at like 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. and 12 p.m. And he just changed his mindset and changed what he was saying to himself right before he went to bed, what he was just his talk within his brain to himself. He changed it. And he said, no matter how many hours of sleep that he got, whether it was 5 or 8, it all was a matter of what it was that he told himself, the mindset that he went in when he went to sleep. whether he was tired or not. So what is my whole point? I like this book, and I know there's a lot of good personal development books out there, but it was what I needed at this moment. And I had an idea of, I've always wanted to do a free group of something that I can fit into my life, not something that is like the free group that I'm doing right now is like a butt buster challenge. And I'm not really into it. I mean, I'm just doing it because it's like, okay, I have a free group and I have a place for people to go to, you know, to get in some type of fitness, some physical activity, people that aren't able to commit to doing a challenge group yet, that don't want to do 30 minutes, but can do like a 5-minute little workout. But to be honest, I'm not really into it. So the group isn't really interactive. I mean, people are doing it. People are doing butt buster, you know, they're doing it in the group. But for me, I want to have a free group that's something that like I'm excited about and I want to have in my life. So as I'm reading this book, I'm thinking I want to do a Miracle Morning group, a free 30-day Miracle Morning group. And I think that's going to start being my free group, because I know Stephanie does free groups and her free groups do really well. She does like water challenges and like clean eating challenges, and she does, no, not clean eating anymore. She does like push-ups and sit-ups and something measurable. Well, personally, I like the personal development piece is the thing that I'm drawn to the most about the business. Like I like the physical fitness, but the personal development for me is what's changed my life so massively. So Cassie and I were talking about doing it together, and you know, we'll open that up to whoever wants to join us. And I want to finish the book before I get to that, and I want to start like implementing it a little bit to see what, you know, how I feel about it before we rush into that. But I'm thinking probably March will be a good time, or end of February will be a good time for us to start that.
It's good. I actually started like listening to the audiobook again just to refresh my memory, because I listened to it and I read it. But I've been doing it for a month and it's awesome. I've never worked out in the morning in my life. And I worked out at 6 o'clock this morning, which is really cool.
That's awesome, girl.
No, that's great. I mean, it's not easy because you're going to have to like really set yourself up the night before.
Well, but you don't have to be up at 5. I mean, obviously, for me, he says, like, if you're, you know, for me, I don't have a job that I'm going to, so I don't have to get up an hour earlier. I can just start my day an hour later if I want to. It doesn't have to be in the morning. If you work night shifts, you know, you're not going to do it in the morning. It's going to be when you wake up before you go to work in the evening. You know, that's not going to be, so it's not that it has to be in the morning. It's just you base it on your schedule. So for me, my Miracle Morning started today at 8:45 because that's what time I woke up. So 8:45 was my Miracle Morning. And
are you going to base it off that website, the Miracle Morning?
I just did like 5 minutes of silence and just breathing, deep breathing, and just breathing in peace and breathing out chaos.
Breathe out chaos.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have any chaos in my life other than the chaos that I create. So, you know, it's just,
I think it's awesome. It's awesome. I thought about that too, but if you guys are going to do it, I want to hop in just to.
So yeah, I did 5 minutes of silence, breathing, and then I did 5 minutes of affirmations. But as I read my affirmations that I've written, I visualized at the same time, because I was like, I'm affirming and visualizing. And then I did what did I do? 5 minutes of writing, because I thought I was visualizing these things and I was coming up with ideas. So I started writing the ideas of things, and, you know, things that I wanted to implement, and people that I wanted to call, and people that just, you know, how I was going to make those visualizations happen. And then I did my personal development, which was reading more of the Miracle Morning. And then I didn't exercise. Anyway, that was my first day was today. So
I saw a chat. I think Callie and Josie wanted in too.
sounds good.
Anybody want in? Raise your hand. See, you got a lot.
I see a lot of hands. Okay, well, if you guys want in, just either order the book on Amazon or wherever
Amazon.
and get it, get it in a paperback or get it on Kindle. I got it on my iPad. I got it on the Kindle and I just had it delivered. If we're going to do it together, my preference would be that we do like the first week we have people do like a chapter a day until they've completed it. So I think it's like, I think I'm on chapter 8 or something. I don't know how many chapters are in it, but we could do a chapter a day and not even implement the Miracle Morning and just get people, can be like, we can lead it. We could post like, okay, chapter 1 today, like, and have different ways of engaging them. How many chapters? 10 chapters. So we could do a chapter a day, and then we'll be done by midweek of the second week. 10 days in, and then maybe give them the rest of the week to actually like set up their Miracle Morning, like get what are the affirmations they're going to do and things like that, and then the last 2 weeks of the group would be actually implementing the Miracle Morning. But if we're going to do it together and people want to jump on board, my preference would be that since we're all coaches, we invite whoever we want to it, and we can all take different days where we want to like lead and create a post for that day. So we can and create it being engaging for people to engage within the group and share.
Sounds good.
And then, we don't have to do a Miracle Morning every month. If it works out well, we could do this every month. We could do like a personal development book. I've been wanting to do that. Like Think and Grow Rich is still, I haven't read it. And, I haven't finished Jab, 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 Right Hook. Like I'm halfway through when I quit. I haven't finished Tribes. Like I read half a book and then I'm like, oh, squirrel, and I go to something else. So these groups would help me, stay on track with my PD too and finish books instead of half reading them.
There's that fast start kit, the 30-day life transformation fast start kit. It has the exercise, affirmations, daily checklists, tracking sheets, and everything else.
Or you can read the book. Whoever wants to, whatever everybody wants to do. Joanne, were you going to say something?
No, that it must be a sign, because I was just recently, I read this book about getting organized, because that's my issue. And like I cleaned up my whole closet yesterday. But she has this system where, how you hold each item at a time. You have to like focus, and does it bring you joy? And it's somewhat like personal development. I'm like, God, wouldn't it be great to do a group on that? People who want to get organized and clean up their house. Like, I don't know. I just like the whole, I like where we're going with this. I like this. I think personal development is such a huge part. And, you can get people into health and fitness and exercising, but if their mindset's not in the right place, a lot of people fall out. So I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I really like it. So it's just something, because I was thinking about that too. And I was like, well, that and you brought it up now with this. And I'm like, it must be a sign that we need to.
That, and the other one that I was thinking we could do is War on Debt. Danny Johnson's War on Debt. People need to learn how to trim the fat from their budget, how to not do a lot of
that's huge.
spending.
Most people talk about what they complain about is not having enough money or not having enough time.
But in reality, we all have she calls it trimming the fat in your budget, is like cutting down on the things that you don't need to buy. And she says everybody has at least, a certain percentage of your income that's fat that you spend on things that you don't need to. And it helps.
Right. And then when a group, we could give them the guidance on how to do that, where they can't do it by themselves. I know it's loud over here. It's loud. But
yeah, it's loud.
I like the idea. I like all of it.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to share or say?
I like where we're heading.
Me too. I think we've got the system of Stephanie and I were talking, and it's like we have the system of challenge groups. We know what works. You can use the the 21-day challenge group that we're doing, it works, you know? We were talking about that. I think it was 2 days ago. We talked on like Saturday or something, and we were talking about the fact that what I think changed for me, and anybody can, you know, maybe learn from this as a mistake, is that, and I was really good at closing people. Like I don't know what it is, but I guess my dad was a salesperson. So for whatever reason, I have that in my blood. Like I could close people like this, you know, anytime, anywhere. So for me, that wasn't a problem. It wasn't, you know, getting the no's and the objections that was a problem for me. For me, the problem was not knowing what to do after. Like, okay, I closed it, you know, the challenge group, the challenge pack, they bought it. Now, like, yay, okay, cool. You know, now what do I do? Like, where do I go with them? Because I didn't have anybody showing me what to do. And what I learned is if you spend more time with them before you actually close them, before you actually close the challenge pack, because you can be really good at sales and you can close challenge packs and you can make money, which is great. But if you're not really spending the time really getting to know them and really digging deep into why they want to do this and really building a foundation for you to have a relationship with them, you can close that sale and they probably will never use that challenge pack because they have no connection to you. They have no commitment to you. They have no accountability to you. So if you're a coach, and I'm not saying making anybody wrong or trying to make you feel bad in any way. Hold on, my phone is ringing. If you're a coach and you're enrolling a lot of challengers and then they're going in your challenge group and it's like, and nobody's engaging, nobody's posting, nobody's upgrading from customer to coach, and nobody's sticking with you, and nobody's using their program, nobody's getting results. And when I say nobody, I don't mean nobody, but maybe you're getting 1 out of 10 is actually doing it, and the other 9 are falling off, which is what I used to be. I'm speaking from experience. This is how it used to be for me. Like I would get these challenge groups, I'd enroll all these challengers, and I could sell like crazy, but then it was like the support that I didn't know how to do. My guess would be that you're probably not spending enough time getting to really know them and getting to really know why they want to be a part of your challenge group, and really spending a lot of time building like the foundation for you to have a relationship with them. And if you spend more time, if you slow down the process, I know that we all want to speed it up. We're all impatient and we want to do it and we want to close it and we want to get them and we want to. If you slow down in the front end, you'll speed up a lot more in the back end. Because what will end up happening is if you spend a lot of time and you really dig deep into that person and you show them that you truly authentically care about them because you truly do, then when it comes time for them and they want to give up, they're going to feel more committed to you and they're going to stick around longer in the group. And then not that I'm saying it's not a codependent thing where they're feeling more committed to you. So it's like you did something, but if that is what they need to be able to stick around in the group and get the results that they're seeking, then why wouldn't we give them that? You know, why wouldn't we spend more time really digging deep into their why and their goals? And, you know, I had a girl that it's funny. She found me on my business page and she wanted to get hammer and chisel. She reached out like, how do I get, how much is hammer and chisel? Reached out right away and wanted to do like my challenge group. And I started her on the 5-step process. I started her with like the step 2 and I was forming her. And she went and found another coach because she didn't want to spend the time answering the forming questions. And by the time I got back to her the next day, she told me, "Oh, I really wanted to go with you and I can tell you really know what you're doing, but since you took so long to get back to me." And I was like, we were like having a conversation. I mean, it wasn't even more than 24 hours had gone by and we were like going back and forth. And I was like, well, I guess she wasn't meant to be on my team, because if she's not wanting to spend time even getting to know me and me getting to know her, and she just wants to rush into it and buy it, I don't know that. I mean, she could end up being a successful challenger, but to me that was like a sign right there that maybe that wasn't the right person to be on the team. And in the past, I would have been like, I'd have been rushing and not trying to get to know that person at all and just trying to sell them something. And I wrote her a message and I said, hey, no problem. I wish you luck. I wish you luck in your challenge group. She ended up becoming a coach like a week later. So not surprised, but my point is spend more time in the front end, slow down to speed up. And if you do that and you really get to know people, you won't have people that are going in your challenge groups and then falling off. So people that are taking their time, getting started or getting their coaching business off the ground, it doesn't mean that they aren't going to be extremely successful. So just meet people where they are, or people that are slow in ordering their challenge packs. It might be something that's going on in their life. It's a very emotional purchase. So just don't automatically go to, it's something that I did, or why aren't they buying, or getting frustrated, but really dig into why are they taking their time? And, one of the girls, I don't know if you guys saw my post, but one of the girls that just enrolled in my challenge group was like, I just found out I'm not, I can't go, she's in Canada. So she got a year of maternity leave. They get a year of maternity leave. And she was like, I just found out that I have to go back to work like 4 weeks earlier. So I'm not going to go back to my job and I'm just going to stay home for a little or something. She's losing I think she's losing like her pay or whatever 6 weeks before she thought so. So she said, I can't do this right now. I can't enroll in the challenge group. I really want to do it. And I was like, okay, no problem. Well, what do you think? Is there some other way? What's in your budget then? Like, what could you afford? Because, I don't want you to like miss out on doing this. She was really excited, and we had spent a long time going back and forth and really getting to know her and having her fill out the form. And she ended up like writing back and was like, well, I kind of looked on the site and is this the one I'm supposed to get? And then she's like, you know what, forget it. Let's just do it. I want this. And she enrolled like within, like I sent her the link to enroll and she enrolled. And the only reason that she did that is because I spent time with her. Like she felt like she knew me. It wasn't just like I was closing a sale and just rushing through and trying to get her to buy. It was like I spent time getting to know her and getting to know her story and hearing about she has kids and she's a mom and this and forming her. So slow down to speed up is what my point was, because regardless of whatever happens, say she never becomes a coach on my team, that doesn't really matter to me, but it's going to be a lot more likely that she's going to become a coach on my team now because I spent that time with her and really got to know her and really made her feel like she wasn't just a number to me. She wasn't just a sale. It's a lot more likely that she's going to stick around with me for a long time versus, quitting. And even if she never becomes a coach and she just gets amazing results and she goes on and she leaves and I know that I did the best job that I could do. And I can walk away from that knowing that I was within my own integrity. And I can feel that I did my job.
Marissa, how long are your conversations when you do that? Like, is it over, like you said, 24 hours, or are they over days, or however long you think? What's the average?
Well, at this point, for these 4 enrollments that I did, actually 5 at this point, I enrolled 5 people in the last 7 days with challenge packs. And they were all from that post that I had put out, like the runner to the, sharing my story. And every single one of them, I had fill out the form on my website. Mm-hmm. And so immediately the first thing that I did was just respond and give them a simple, I posted the actual conversation in Aloha. So if you search for that conversation, you'll find it.
I saw that.
Okay. So that was probably it takes them a little bit to actually go to the form and fill it out. But the form is pretty comprehensive at this point. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, this goes to MailChimp, and I get all the responses in a form in MailChimp. And another thing that I did is I just captured their email address so I can put them on a campaign. I can have them on I can send them a free recipe once a month. If they don't enroll in my challenge group, this month, I'll send them a recipe. And then on the bottom of the recipe, I'll have upcoming events for my next challenge group in March, if they don't enroll for February. So now I've got them on a list. So this is what Melanie Mitro does. This is what I've never taught. This is what I'm learning. So anybody that wants to start, implementing this, it makes it easier. It makes it where your follow-ups are easier because they're just already in the list. They're in the list. So what happens is they go to a MailChimp list. Their information is captured in there. So I'd go in there, I read everything, and then I went back and responded using that form data that I had found. And I really made that next message really customized to them. And then there was only a little bit of it that was, copied and pasted from the scripts. Most of it was customized, it was made to suit what was going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably with her. Maybe I can probably even look and see in my inbox and see how many days. But with the majority of them, it was like probably 3 or 4 days. Where it was like they said they wanted it, and then they filled out the form. I responded back after I looked at the form. Then they responded back, sent the enrollment. It was probably like 3 or 4 days for most of them, I would say. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But here, I have her message here. So, okay, so I posted that on January 18th, which was what day is January 18th? Last Monday?
January.
Yes.
Okay, so I posted, so she contacted me on January 18th, and she enrolled on the Thursday. So 4 days. It was over a span of 4 days.
Okay.
And before, I used to spend I could close someone in 1 day, but good luck trying to have that person stick around. And what I would do is I wouldn't even get them on the phone. So I would just have them, enroll from a cold market and then not get them on the phone and then have them go in the challenge group and never even talk to me. And then I think that they're going to engage in the challenge group. It's not going to happen. So another thing that I do is, on that front end before they actually, well, I don't know if y'all have seen, but I don't know if I should share this because it's got their information on there. But anyway, if you guys have seen that challenge group tracker, I keep track of everybody now in my challenge group tracking sheet. And so I have here, I have their name, email address, phone number, the form data, like what I found out about them, their goals, date of enrollment. I sent them all a welcome letter, date that they received their package. So I looked up their shipping information today, and I sent them messages, and I was like, hey, your package is due to deliver on Thursday. Let me know when you receive it. And so that, I can call them and I can go over it with them and spend 15 minutes on the phone with them. And then this would be the getting started call, and then checking in every week. And then, at the end of their challenge, I offer to do another little closing call to see what they want to do next. So my point is I didn't used to do all those things. I didn't really used to keep track. I was just random. I was like a Tasmanian devil with my coaches and with my customers. And while you'll get instant gratification and you'll close people that way, and you'll make some money and you'll maybe help a few people here and there, long term, I think if you slow down, it will be better.
Okay, thank you.
And that's been working for me. And I'm just I'm looking for my 5 people every month. That's I don't need to have 100. I don't need to have 50. I want my 5 people. Those are going to be the people that I'm going to focus on that month. I'm really going to take care of them. And then, we'll see what happens from there. I'm just going to help them get amazing results. And when they do, people are going to notice. And when people notice, they're going to ask them what they're doing. And if I have a great relationship with them, they're either going to refer those people to me. So I'm going to have a consistent stream of referrals, or they're going to want to become a coach and build a business themselves. And just an FYI too, that did take 4 days, but these are targeted followers because I'm implementing Jesse Reagan's Facebook ads. So these are, I'm targeting people that are like me. I'm targeting interests and I'm paying for likes on my page. And so these people are targeted followers. So the close was much easier for me because they are people that are like me.
Gotcha.
I have
Thank
to say,
you.
like, since I've started doing calls with people, my groups are a lot more engaging. Like, if somebody's not willing to get on the phone, then I almost don't feel like they're that serious yet. Like, I had someone that when I posted about, like, I got the cafe latte, she was like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you about 21 Day. And she, like, canceled her call with me. And in my mind, it was like, okay, she's not ready. Like, I'm not going to push it. If someone's not going to get on the phone with me, then I just don't feel like they're ready yet. And I get on the phone with everybody now before they get in my groups, and my groups are really engaging now. And it's, you know, taking the time to get to know someone versus just taking the time to get them enrolled.
And Stephanie was like one of the biggest, like, I'm not good on the phone was her thing. I'm not good on the phone. She was very resistant. But once she started doing it, she's like, oh my God, like she's kicking butt. It's just doing amazing for her. So.
And I mean, there is something to say about practice makes perfect. I mean, I had a new potential coach with one of my coaches had somebody and she wasn't comfortable yet. So we did a 3-way. And I like texted Marissa right afterwards. I was like, wow, totally blew that call. Like I knew exactly what I did wrong, but I wouldn't have learned it unless I did it. So like, I'm more prepared for my next like potential coach call. I mean, you only get better at doing something by doing it. So it's uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get.
Meh. Just kidding. That's why you are a rock star, because you don't ever stop. You'll keep going even when you get knocked down. You get up again.
Except for being sick. I feel like I haven't done shit for like 3 days, but oh well, I'll build it back up.
All right, ladies. Well, in honor of it's been an hour. This was a cool call. I hope it was helpful for you guys. And, you know, I'll see you guys next week. You know, before we go, I'm thinking about having a guest speaker. And the thing is, have y'all, who's seen me, the Hot Market script? The Hot Market script that I used to use, that I shared with you guys? Anybody remember the Hot Market script? Where you reach out to like your family and friends and ask them to be testimonials, or
Yeah.
I'm getting some nods. Yes, no, raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. It's a script that we use that he teaches. And anyway, the guy that taught me the Hot Market script would be willing to come on next week on the call and talk about it. Would you guys be interested in that? The people that have seen it?
I think that'd be great. I use that big time in the beginning of my business.
Okay. All right. I'll ask him if he could do next week then. We'll have a guest speaker. Anybody else?
I almost forget about those scripts, but I did use them all the time in the beginning.
Okay. Alrighty, I'll ask him and see if he's available. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. Good night.